Katz. I'm Director of Arts Wisconsin, the state's community cultural development organization. We are all about advocacy, service, and development for everything and everyone connected with the arts and creativity in Wisconsin. We are not a producing or presenting organization. We don't do the arts, but our job is to help make the arts happen in every community around the state and to help the people, organizations, businesses, and communities that are working in the arts and involved in the arts, help them do that work. So that means that we provide technical assistance and planning and strategic thinking and resources and research and information and perspective on what's going on in the arts and what's happening in the creative economy, arts education, creative placemaking, so that every community can reach its potential. Basically what we do is asset-based community development, because we know that there's so much creativity and so much great stuff happening in Wisconsin, and what we want to do is make sure that each community recognizes and realizes and invests in those assets. So we spend a lot of time thinking about the big picture issues, about what's happening in the economy, what's happening in politics, what's happening in education and quality of life. We bring people together to have conversations and take action on all of those issues, and we keep making the point that the arts are critical to economic vitality, education for the 21st century, healthy communities, and engaged residents around the state. So right now, at this moment in history, is a really interesting and opportune time. It's true that our politics are sort of driving us crazy, and it's certainly going to be a very interesting political year. But because the world is changing so much, and because our economy is going from an industrial-based economy to a creative economy, because our social structures are changing, the way we communicate is changing, the way we educate our kids is changing, sometimes faster than we think it should, all of that means that the whole idea of creativity as a resource, that creativity, imagination, innovation, and entrepreneurship are tangible assets that communities can invest in and hold on to. That is a really important idea and a really important thing right now. So what I see around the state, and believe me, in 21 years of this job, I have traveled pretty much everywhere in the state, and I can tell you where the best pie and ice cream is anywhere in the state. I can tell you that I see communities all over the state looking at the assets that they have and making the most of them. So every community in Wisconsin has interesting history, beautiful environment, lots of historical aspects, very creative people, very unique heritage. That's an economy. Those are small businesses that provide different aspects of that economy. There are arts organizations and arts people, artists and creators and performers who are making their living and making their life in that community. And you put all that together, and that is what we call the creative economy. Creative people, creative places, creative industries. So not only are nonprofit arts organizations important in terms of economic health and vitality, but manufacturing companies that are looking for ways to be more efficient and come up with new ideas. Education that helps integrate creative expression so that kids can discover their passion and learn in different ways, because of course not every kid learns the same way. Quality of life, where it's a place where, a community is a place where people want to live or work or play, or all of those things. That's what is part of that. Those things are part of economic development now. So our job is to go around the state and help communities do that. Help artists make their living as artists, help nonprofit organizations figure out what their mission is and how to provide programming for a community, help businesses learn how to come up with new ideas, help local officials explore new opportunities in jobs and businesses and quality of life. Our job is to help people do that and help communities do that. And so it's a really exciting job, because as I said, I've been everywhere in the state, and Wisconsin is just full of creativity and full of creative people, all of whom are not necessarily driven by a desire or desire to make money. Of course, that's always a goal. But they're not doing this work because they're making a lot of money. They're doing this work because they want their community to be a place where their kids can grow up and have a good life. And so we do a lot of planning, we do a lot of advising. We take all of the stuff that's happening around Wisconsin and make it into a statewide whole. We want to make sure that everybody from the governor and the legislators and the business people and the educators and everyone who cares about Wisconsin's future knows about the arts as the solution for Wisconsin. That's the kind of work we do. A lot of it is big picture. It's pretty much never ended. A lot of it is aspirational. You work on projects, you work on setting goals, you get to that goal, and then you see that there's so much more work to be done. So that's the kind of service work and advocacy work that we do, and it's a great pleasure to be involved in it. We're working on a very exciting initiative called the Creative Economy Development Initiative. Wisconsin has all the assets it needs to succeed in the 21st century economy, in the creative economy. We've got creative people, we've got beautiful communities, we've got interesting history and heritage, we have creativity everywhere. On the local level, there is a huge amount of work going on in terms of developing that creative economy and developing arts opportunities. What we're trying to do is bring this together in a statewide whole so that the state of Wisconsin invests in its creative economy. Other places are doing a lot more than Wisconsin has been doing in the last few years. Colorado has a Creative Industries Council. Oklahoma calls itself the state of creativity. Minnesota has the Legacy Amendment, which provides a portion of the sales tax to fund conservation, clean water, and the arts. Louisiana has based a lot of its recovery from Katrina on local food and local music. And so Wisconsin should be stepping up to the plate. So in the last few years, we've developed a program that will invest in the creative economy around the state in communities of all sizes in 3 ways. Through economic and downtown development projects, so a public art program, an artist live workspace, attracting young people to a community and creating arts incubators or creative economy incubators. That's one aspect of it. Another component of it is arts and creativity in education, because we have to prepare our kids for the 21st century world and workforce. Kids coming up today need to be creative problem solvers, they need to be able to think on their feet, they need to be able to work both independently and as a team, and all of those are skills that the arts impart. So the whole idea of the arts as part of education is critically important now for all kids, not just kids who might get that kind of experience in a different way than the public schools, but the arts in public schools are really important now. So that's a component of this program. And the third component of the program is providing sustainability and capacity building to the organizations and businesses that are providing the arts. So most arts businesses do a lot with very little, believe me, they're incredibly entrepreneurial, but having some resources is important. And so investing in those businesses is the third component of this project, because then we will make sure that we have the arts in every corner of the state. So we've had this program in legislation for the past 2 years. We've gotten a huge amount of support. We haven't quite gotten it passed yet, but we're working hard on it. Since it's an election year this year, we know that there will be a lot of opportunities for candidates to be talking about Wisconsin's future, and people out there throughout the state want to hear what their legislators say. So we are going to work as hard as we can to make sure that when the legislators talk about their vision for the future, when the candidates talk about their vision for the future, that they talk about the arts and creativity as a component of Wisconsin life, education, economy, and quality of life. And so we're pretty optimistic, because this is not the only economy out there, but it's an important part of the economy, and we should do everything we can to invest in it right now. Thanks for sitting in on this ANN Chat. We know you really want to be involved in the effort to grow Wisconsin creatively, and we really need your help and look forward to working with you. Go to artswisconsin.org, that's our website, artswisconsin.org, to learn more and get involved. Thanks so much.